Good morning. Again, thank you very much for showing up either here or online. There are lots of people online. I see 61. Do I hear 62? Couple of updates we would have, and then, as you know, it's your time to ask questions and put us on the spot to see if we have the answers. Let's see, where should we start? Grace, do you want to give any updates that you have, please? From sponsored programs, this is Grace.
Good morning, I'm Grace Liu, Associate Director of the award side. So I have a few reminders mostly for the awards issues. All right, we'll start this again. Grace Liu, Associate Director of the awards side. Good morning, all of you. All right, here are a few announcements and reminders. There have been a few questions about the California Department of Food and Ag, CDFA, indirect cost rate. So here are the general rules. The indirect cost rate is escalating to 20% MTDC for all projects starting July 1st. Okay, so if it's just a general CDFA project, the indirect rate goes up to 20% MTDC on July 1st for projects starting July 1st. If your program is special, such that it's being funded by a commodity or agricultural group, then we would accept any written policy that reduces the indirect cost rate. That applies only to commodity and agricultural groups under CDFA. Okay, so obviously, as you know, the escalated 20% rate does not apply when we are acting as a subrecipient of federal flow-through money, then the federal rate applies. Okay, and additional funds, when supplemental funds come in, then the indirect cost rate in effect at that time would apply. But for projects starting July 1st, just keep in mind you should be budgeting at 20% MTDC. And that will be good through June 30th, 2019. Okay, it's scheduled to escalate up to 25% of July 1st of next year. Now, for multi-year projects, okay, so if you're proposing a multi-year project starting July 1st, then the 20% MTDC rate is good for the life of that project, but not for supplemental funds, okay? Now, just a few housekeeping items. We're starting to get a lot of NIH awards. Okay, this is NIH award season, a lot of modifications. So if you want to see your NIH funds released, then please work with your award analysts on getting your compliance items done as soon as possible. That way we can pass the award on to CGA and they can add the funds or set up your new fund as the case may be. And also, if you do your compliance items online, so if you're doing your PHS training or your PHS COI online, you need to email your award analyst to let them know when your PI and key personnel have completed those compliance items. We do not have any automatic notification system to let us know when somebody's completed an online compliance item. Okay, so you need to let us know. We go in periodically to check, but it might take a few days if you don't let us know. So after the fact awards, so that means we've gotten the award in and you did not go through SPO to submit that proposal. Or maybe, you know, the state just sent you supplemental funding and nobody had any idea this award was coming in. You need to route a CAIUS IPF for that additional money, okay, for that award that you didn't already route. So all funding needs to be accompanied with that CAIUS IPF. Please put in your short project title ATF for after the fact. Your award analyst will remind you, but basically that after the fact means that it should come to the awards team and not the proposals team. Otherwise, a proposal analyst will be prepared to review your proposal and maybe submit it to somewhere. Okay, so that causes confusion. After the fact awards, so award in hand, money in hand, put ATF in that short project title. And also, if you have department administrator changes, I know all of you do because people move around a lot, please email the CAIUS help desk, letting them know who the old department administrator was and who you want that new department administrator to be. Okay, so who's taking over for that old department administrator? That's orcaiushelp@ucdavis.edu. Okay, email your request to that email and we will follow up with you to change the records. Okay, any questions? Any questions online?
That was a lot of information. I'm sure there should be questions.
There should be questions.
That is very clear. So maybe there won't be.
Thank you. That was very clear. Pat Bell, yes.
It should be short title identified as an ATF, but to help the awards, you should be short title say ATF with award. Sometimes you get ATFs, but really great.
Okay, so that's true. Sometimes you might have an ATF. Good point, Pat. Thank you for speaking up for the proposal team. Pat Bell asked if it should be ATF with award when there is an award document versus, maybe there's an after the fact, after the proposal has been submitted, but before the award comes in. That's a good point. If you get an award document in your department, please route it with ATF with award. Usually your award analyst will say to you, please route this IPF, and then you might say ATF for Grace or ATF for Lisa. That way we know exactly who to assign it to, and that'll save us time. Okay, so ATF with award for those of you who get an award document in your department. Anyone else? Okay, thanks.
Thank you. On the regarding the issues with indirect costs that Grace explained, please note that we don't have a whole lot of flexibility on that. OP is not going to allow us lower indirect, so work with us on that. That's how it is. Those are the numbers, and we have to use them. Our people don't have any way around that, those numbers. Okay. I don't see anything online either. Kelly? Kelly has been here for less than a month. I thought that it was a month, but she reminded me that it's less than a month. She has been here, the other associate director. Go ahead, she has an update.
Okay, good morning. Just want to let all of you know that we are now taking a look at the proposals process and where we might be able to streamline it. We are also looking to begin an outreach program with campus departments that we work with frequently, maybe even not so frequently, to talk about our processes, talk about the departmental processes, and kind of get a mutual understanding, build those partnerships. So start looking for meetings to be scheduled with departments within the next couple of weeks. We're probably going to be doing them over the next several months, but we plan to get out and meet with all of you just to kind of get an understanding of what's working well and what's not working well. So in the meantime, if anyone has any questions, concerns, or comments about the proposal process, please feel free to reach out to me directly.
Perfect. Thank you. How about if we get an update from Tech Transfer, Innovation Access, IA? Here's Nancy Rashid, Dr. Nancy Rashid.
Thank you, Ahmed. We had been coming to these regularly and then haven't come for a while, so I asked Ahmed if we could re-invite ourselves. Just if you have questions about patent assignments or filing records of invention for your, well, hopefully you're not filing them for your researchers, but intellectual property related questions, we're on that side of the building, and sponsor programs is on that side. So the one thing that I thought to bring up right now is we're approaching summer, and there's probably going to be a higher number of visitors coming to your departments. Please make sure that you do your best to get them, recorded or somehow tracked for liability issues, for insurance, for patent agreements, and also if there's a visitor that is here as part of a research agreement, then Ahmed's group would probably need to know and have some sort of record of them being here and attached to a research agreement. It helps us if you address those, even if they're here just for a week. There's not supposed to be outside personnel using or being on campus without some sort of documentation.
Thank you. And regarding visit to the campus, obviously this doesn't mean that every single time somebody shows up for a day visit to a lab, all of these issues would come in. But if they are here for working on any of the projects alongside their colleagues here on campus, that's requirement of the university and basically state of California, that they have to be properly completing all documents that are needed because of the intellectual property issues, for example, and other issues that Nancy discussed. Go ahead, Kelly, you are up here.
Read the question. So regarding the meetings on the proposal process, is there an email we can contact to receive information on this or express interest in these department meetings, or even to request the meeting on department-specific process on the proposal process?
So we don't currently have a formal email set up. We're in the very beginning stages of it, but if you would like, you can send me an email directly, and we'll get something scheduled.
Good. James, do you want to give an update from accounting, please?
Thank you. All right, good morning, everybody. James Ringo, Contracts and Grants Accounting Manager. A couple of things to share. One is a follow-up from last time. There was a question asked regarding Aggie service compliance with the new NSF guidance that any breach of PII would need to be notified to them. I reached out to the leadership at the Shared Services Center and really got confirmation that they're on top of it, and we're operating. Aggie Service falls within, campus policy guidelines, and they have processes in place should there be a breach. So I don't think we have a concern there. But thank you for whoever raised that concern. Let's see. The thing that I wanted to share with you is we're at that wonderful time of the year where we're coming right up on fiscal close. Before long, we will be trying to close out fiscal 18. So there are two things that, from the contracts grants accounting side, we really need campus's help with. The one is overdrafts. Please work to eliminate your overdrafts, especially on some of those funds that might be lingering for growing periods of time. It's a little bit hard to move those off to your dean's office accounts, which is where they'll go. And then you might be getting some questions from them about what those overdrafts were. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, in a couple of weeks or so, we'll be sending out our list to help you find places where you have subawards, where you may not have been receiving bills from them because you'll need to do accruals. So you'll either need to reach out to them, try to get a bill in hand so we can ideally jump on it and actually record the expense if need be. Please go ahead and book those accruals so that we have things in the right accounting period. That's what I've got. Any questions here or online? All right, we're moving right along.
Nothing here yet. Cindy. And here's Associate Vice Chancellor Cindy.
Good morning. Just a really quick update. Those of you who've been paying attention, there is a new regulation coming out of the European Union governing data of any kind of human being. Okay, and I'm not even going to call them a human subjects in IRB speak. If you are collecting any information from the European Union or about European Union kind of citizens, you need to make sure that you have consent for that, to keep that information in your databases. So currently, all of the IRB directors are working together with OP to come up with templated language that you can insert into informed consent forms if you are doing human subjects research. If you think that you're going to have any individuals from the European Union, or if you think you're going to be gathering data in the European Union, you'll need to use new language. It's not posted yet because it's not yet crafted. Well, it's in draft stage, but it's not yet approved. So look forward to having that coming your way soon. but technically we have to be compliant by Friday, so 3 days from now. So it is a big kind of game changer on the data front and how we manage and use and that data about individuals in the European Union. From an enforceability perspective, we're not quite certain how they're going to enforce, but it's something like multi-millions of euros that they could fine you potentially for violations. And so we do need to be careful and take an effort. The law was really put in place to go after like the Amazons and Googles and big pharma, you know, accessing data for marketing purposes. But it does impact us if we're trying to do fundraising with alumni that might be living there, if we you know, are collecting data for research purposes. So its intent was actually to go after these big entities that use data for marketing purposes when people don't want to be marketed to with their private data. But it is impacting our research endeavors too. So, any questions on there? Yes.
Does this apply to EU citizens in the United States? And the context of the question is related to small research projects with their own international students.
So, did they hear that?
No, you have to
Should I
repeat it.
Okay. The question is, does it apply to European Unions who are European Union citizens who are actually living here in the States? Technically, the law says it's for data collected in the EU. Okay, but if a person is going to be going back to the EU and sending data from there to us, then it would be applicable. So it's a little bit of a technical, you know, but it doesn't attach to an individual. It attaches to where the data is coming from. So I know it's a little bizarre. A lot of lawyers feel like it's kind of jurisdiction overreach, right? So we'll see how it plays out in the courts downstream, but for now, we know what the regulation says.
So the other side of that coin is that the question was, would it apply to all European citizens? The other side of the coin, as Cindy explained, is that if somebody from outside European Union is in European Union and data is collected while they are there, it's technically under the law.
That's correct.
That's so if you have a study here, and the example that has been used is one of those Fitbits are on somebody's wrist and they travel to Paris for 2 weeks. Data comes from there, that's affected.
Yeah.
As it is
You have to
right
have
now.
special consents for collection of that data.
Okay.
All right.
It's job security, that's good. Thank you. James, come on over, James. There's a question for James here.
Okay. So I'm going to paraphrase. What is the new norm for how long it will take for funds to be allocated? Someone's indicating it's taken up to a month recently.
A month is way outside of a norm, so something has clearly gone wrong with that. We're still working out a little bit of the kinks, I think, in some process changes that we've made. But if we're talking about getting a new award set up, or really any award action, should take 5 to 6 days at the most. At the most. If you don't see it by then, let me know, let Francisco know. We'll go chase it down and figure out what has gone astray.
Just wait, maybe there's more questions.
I gotta run.
He wants to get rid of that.
Drop it.
Well, this seems like it's going to be a short meeting. Any more questions about anything related to accounting only? No? I don't see anything online. There are 84 people online right now.
I mean, I can, so we are, you know, I've mentioned before, and in a couple of months, we're planning to demonstrate our new cost share tracking system. We've had a campus group come in just, I think it was Monday, to have them take a look at it. They're kind of playing with it, testing it right now, seeing if it's working the way that we think it's going to work for them. So we're kind of excited because it's a lot. It really is an improvement. It's not, honestly, you know, the current system has some significant little limitations that we've been working around for years. So the new system is going to address a lot of the concerns and holes that we've had. So that'll be fun. And again, I'm planning to come over and do a demo, or have somebody do a demo for the forum here in, I think, in July. That's kind of where we're targeting it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I guess there's no one. A quick update on our vacancies and in sponsored programs. Things are getting much better. The positions are being filled. Right now, we have one position open for level of analyst 3, which is now research admin 3. So hopefully we would get good candidates. If you know anybody who might be interested, send them our way, and hopefully soon our org chart would be filled. But that's the only position which is open right now. Oh, good. James?
So we have I just want to let you all know that we do have one of our staff members, Sandy Russo, retiring at the end of June. So we have a recruitment underway right now. I think it's posted. I think it's out there. So if you're interested in coming over to Contracts and Grants Accounting and helping out, or you know somebody that might be interested, take a look at that post. Other than that, I think everything's pretty much stable.
Are you sure you don't want to stand here?
No, it occurs to me after I sit down.
Okay, anything else? Cindy has something, huh?
Since we're doing staff updates, the Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee, IACUC, you might know that Alan Ekstrand took a position up at Washington State in Pullman, and so he is no longer with us, unfortunately. So Donna, sorry, I got her. Anyway, Donna is going to serve as our interim director of that unit until we recruit a new director. Just so people know, that team is quite short-staffed currently. They're still doing a great job, but pressures are a little bit high. So treat them well when you work with our IACUC staff.
Yep.
That update.
Thank you. If there's nothing else, it's almost 9 a.m. Maybe we can stop there. Okay? Thank you very much. See you next month.